to apologize. You said, I'm from Africa. You are surprised that we from Africa worship a white man.
Yes.
And I said, you Muslims colonize many countries and you impose Islam and a god from Arabia on those countries that you went. Allah was not known in Africa. It was known only in Arabia because Arabic language, right? The Jews never mention Allah in all their books. Best you can get close to is Ilaha. So, the name Allah is not known by any of the previous prophets. It's a new name, and according to the Torah, we don't need to follow a God that is not known by our forefathers. Now, for you to say, we Africans worship a white man, it shows you are ignorant. Jesus is not from Europe. He's from Israel.
That's about the most ignorant conversation that I've heard in a very long time. So the Israelite but believe in Jesus guy is telling the Muslim gentleman that they should not worship the Muslim God Allah because Allah never came to them except through colonization and through force. That their forefathers never spoke of Allah. And because Allah is not mentioned in the Torah, man, Allah being a relatively new God, that why should they listen to this Muslim guy? Makes a great case. But sadly, happily, the same case can be made against the Israelite Jesus-loving guy who's talking. Because the mere fact, the facts are this, that sub-Saharan Africa and some of northwestern Africa never became Christian until they were colonized by Christians. They never heard of the Old Testament until they were colonized by Christians. Now, some are going to say that there were tribes like the Kingdom of Judah. Well, that was not the Kingdom of Judah. The Europeans could not pronounce Vayuda, so they changed it to Judah. But those people were captured by the Dahomey and sold into slavery and spread throughout North and South America and the Caribbean. So that is not the Kingdom of Judah, the tribe of Judah at all. Modern day belief in Africans being Israelites is a modern day belief. There is no archaeological evidence to support their claim. It is just simply their belief. So when you run across these people in sub-Saharan Africa, it is a falsified belief in the same way it's a falsified belief in the Americas, because they actually have no hereditary proof of this. In the same way that the Jewish people were not in large numbers in Ethiopia until in around 330 BCE. Actually much later than that. But 330 BCE is the first time the Torah and the Bible came to Ethiopia through Christianity by a Coptic Christian out of Egypt. Prior to that, in the Axiom Empire, they worshiped deities like Astarte. They were pagan, according to Christians. So this idea that that Christianity was already in Africa prior to colonization, sure, Egypt, Ethiopia, that's part of Africa. But sub-Saharan Africa, purely through colonization. And what gods would your ancestors would have been telling you about? It would not have been Yeshua. No, not even slightly. It would have been Chechua. It would have been Oshun, Mamawata. It would have been Anansi. It would have been the Namo and the Namo of the Dogons. It would have been so many other different deities that they would have never been telling you about Yeshua. They would have never told you about Moshe. Those people you would have never heard your ancestors talking about, because those were not the gods of your ancestors. Those were not the prophets of your ancestors. Those are the prophets of those who came and conquered and colonized and forced you. They took the land and they took the resources and they took your culture and they handed you a Bible. And you bit into it and swallowed it whole, and you still holding on to it, making ignorant arguments in the way that you're making this one. But tell me what you guys think. The Muslim guy right? The Israelite, Yeshua loving guy right? What do you guys think? Always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.